Well, I'm trying to find a location to take photos, and it just seems to be that everywhere I look isn't interesting. So I found a place that looks interesting. What do you think? Does this look interesting enough? They just repainted this bridge about a year ago, maybe 2 years at this point, and inspected it, I assume, made sure it's still up to snuff. You know, it's got some corrosion here and there, but yeah, this bridge moves. You see how it sits on these little pylons that are rockers? That's because it actually rocks. Let's see, it grows and shrinks. You can see where they painted it and where it's moved away from the paint, because it's contracted and you know, it shrinks and grows with the seasons because it's so big. And I don't remember when they built this bridge. It's the John Snodgrass bridge. It goes over the Tennessee River at Stevenson. It's one of the few left of its kind. And I'm gonna try to get some photos of it today to share with you guys, and some other stuff in this area right here. So. The whole point of this outing is to shoot with the 28mm AiS on my Nikon Zf, and I wanted to get some test photos with it, see how it would perform. Needless to say, I'm expecting it to perform exceptionally well, because the 28mm AiS was one of Nikon's crowning achievement back in the manual lens days. It was almost optically perfect in about every way, and that lens is sought after to this day. I've had mine for a number of years now. I got it out, cleaned it up good. I have it on a simple photo-C this adapter ring, because mine is chipped. I put the dandelion chip on it that you get off of eBay from, you know, some fella in the Russian Republic makes them, and you would program it with a DSLR. I don't know that you can program it with a mirrorless camera at all. I'm not real sure, but I programmed this one with my D810, and when I put it on the ZF with the FTZ, it's reading about 2/3 of a stop light. So when I take photos with it, it's actually darkening the frames all about 2/3 of a stop. I have to run 2/3 of a stop exposure compensation to get the exposure to come out right. But the problem with that is the preview is normal. It's bizarre. And I think it has something to do with that dandelion chip not communicating properly with the camera, and that's what is causing my issue. But with the simple adapter ring, it doesn't electrically connect, so it doesn't matter. So I'm out here, I'm shooting at f5.6 right now. I shot a couple at f2.8. The depth of field is so shallow, it's kind of hard to get a decent in-frame focus point. Even at 28mm, it's just hard to do. But right over here behind this is the scale house for a pier. There was a dock right over here, and I'm thinking that they weighed coal or gravel or something like that. There's a scale right outside, and then they weighed them, they roll across the scale here, and then they take it down here to the pier and they dump it on a barge, because that's what it looks like, a barge pier. I'm gonna go down there now and get a photo or two of that and share that with you. Let's see what we can come up with down there. Yeah, the scale house is right over there through them bushes. But then you come over here, and here's the actual barge pier. This hoist mechanism, I don't know if that was the anchor or what. It's got a huge cable. See, there's a dump chute right here. It's getting kind of windy out here. See? And there's the dump that dumped into the barge. And of course, and then you had the ladder for the man to go down to the barge in the water. Then there's the other tie point for the same barge. It would tie to that pylon and this one. And then they had tie-off pylons down through here. they'd move them out of the way and tie them off. But yeah, this thing is, I don't know, I don't understand what's happening here with the cable. It goes over that pylon. It probably raised that chute up and down. I don't know. There's another gearbox and motor that has been completely dismantled over the years, down to just the worm gear shafts and the Lovejoy couplings. There's a cable still running from this one down to that pylon. I see it now. Huh. Electrical disconnects. All that's left is the actual, well, the contactors in it. They've cut all the copper out. The copper thieves have stole all the copper they could. That's a photo. Let me get some pictures here. It's a little bit cold still, even though it's, you know, it's January and I'm out here in short sleeves essentially. It's the wind blowing makes it cold. This morning it was like 30. It was just below freezing and there was frost on everything. But now it's done warmed up to where if you're not in the wind, it ain't bad. But I've got me quite a few photos. I've shot most of it at f5.6 because I want to shoot it open up a little to get a little background separation, but I want more in focus than just a razor thin layer. So f2.8 is actually really nice. I've got a photo or two over at the John Snodgrass bridge there to show that. But it's a lot easier to make photos when you stop down a manual lens a little bit. So I stop them down. Really makes me want to get that 28mm S lens. That would be really nice. Like I need another lens. We were talking in the live stream recently about that, and I have an incredible amount of 50mm. I really don't need to do that with 28s as well. I have 2 or 3 of them, you know. I don't need to add even more.